I'm William Kumwembe and this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, sigh of relief for employees as Parliament nods to a raise in tax-free band threshold from 45,000 kwacha to 100,000 kwacha. We speak to some. And also in the program, there is a bit among cross-border traders that business would start picking up as countries ease on lockdown conditions. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could. Hello and welcome. In our main story in the program today, on Monday, Parliament passed the taxation bill, among other things, allowing government to effect a rise in the tax-free band on pay-as-you-earn from 45,000 kwacha to 100,000 kwacha. What does this mean to employees? This is a question our journalist Chimwemwe Mangaza attempts in this report.
Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
On Monday, Parliament passed the taxation bill allowing the government to increase the tax-free band of pay-as-you-earn from 45,000 kwacha to 100,000 kwacha effective October 2020. The tax-free threshold of casual labor has also been increased from 15,000 kwacha to 35,000 kwacha. However, before passing the bill, members of Parliament from the opposition benches raised concerns that the bill will benefit few people in the formal sector. Joseph Mwanamveka is former Minister of Finance and Democratic Progressive Party spokesperson on finance. He feels introduction of a 20% withholding tax on winnings from betting and lotteries could hurt the industry.
Madam Speaker, let me also turn to the application of the 35% of tax payable by individuals receiving in excess of 3 million per month. I would like to say that the proposed measure would discourage the savings and investment culture by the middle and upper class, hence defeating the much taunted job creation drive by the Tonse Alliance government. But particularly at this juncture, Madam Speaker, where Malawians are eagerly waiting for the 1 million jobs that were promised. As the August House is aware, Madam Speaker, it is the middle class and the upper class that are responsible for investment and job creation in any economy. Therefore, DPP as a party that believes in investment, sustainable economic development and job creation would like to advise the Finance Minister not to introduce this new payee tax band.
But responding to the queries, Minister of Finance Felix Mlusu said the bill would help increase the level of disposable income for majority Malawians.
Tax issues are issues which are reviewed, annually. This is something that we'll be reviewing, as we go forward. So we have taken note, of the observations which have been made, and going forward, definitely we'll be reviewing and coming back, to this August House, for support, from, from this House.
But how have Malawians received the news?
For our setup, being a country which is poor, but basically we're emerging. I think we're working towards making sure that we go towards being a middle income to maybe high income country. But I think what the government should do is consider the tax rates for example, for pay-as-you-earn and other taxes. Because I think at the same rate, despite that they have increased the bracket, the tax-free bracket from 45,000 to 100,000, the taxable brackets are so high. So like looking at 30% and 35%, those are quite considerably higher compared to other countries. So the government should consider to lower them to a range where it will be quite, it will increase resources available to employees, and then make very good use of the money which they will be able to take from the taxes towards developing the country.
I'm excited because it means more money in our pockets. Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, it means obviously slightly more income, I believe. So obviously I'm very excited about it, but still I'm reserved.
Why?
I'm not sure what difference it's going to make in terms of the increment. How much is it really going to be? But I think the increment of the tax band itself is quite significant. From 45,000 to 100,000, it's quite significant. So yeah, I think it's a very good move on the government's part.
However, a tax expert, Emmanuel Kaluluma, maintains that implementation of the law should have coincided with the commencement of the new financial year. A communique from the Secretary to Treasury addressed to the Secretary for Human Resources at Capitol Hill, which we have seen, shows that the change will be effected for the entire fiscal year. Meanwhile, the August House agreed to reintroduce a 16.5% value-added tax on cooking oil, despite removing the same 3 years after its negative impact on the industry.
On Friday, the National Statistical Office announced the rebasing of GDP base year from 2010 to 2017. What does this mean to the economy? This is the question our journalist Justin Mkwewa attempts in this report.
Following the rebasing of the year, nominal GDP, which is the value of goods and services at prices of a particular year, has been revised upwards with 38.4% from 4.6 billion kwacha in 2010 to 6.4 billion kwacha using 2017 as the base year. According to the statement from the NSO, this revision is attributed predominantly to improved coverage from the Census of Economic Activities, which was implemented for the first time in the history of the economic surveys in Malawi. The economy registered a nominal GDP growth of 10.8% in 2018 to 7.1 billion kwacha and 13.9% in 2019 to 8 billion kwacha, with agriculture, human health activities and transportation registering highest growth rates. Real GDP has grown with 4.4% in 2018 to 6.7 billion kwacha and 5.7% in 2019 to 7 billion kwacha. Speaking in an interview, the Director General for National Planning Commission, NPC, Dr. Thomas Mutari, said the rebasing is an important aspect of the economy because it becomes a true reflection of what is the economic position of a country at that particular time. He added that for them as a commission, they are more excited because this is timely in the sense that now that they will be projecting on when the country is expecting to reach an upper middle income economy, they now have a proper base to use, so it will give them a true starting point. He further said that those sectors that registered highest growth rates should be supported for the benefit of the economy. An economics lecturer at the Chancellor College, Professor Ben Kalua, said it is important because the price index change over time and the rebasing helps to capture real-time statistics. Malawi's GDP growth sees a snail's pace because the country is predominantly an importing and consuming nation, highly dependent on unprocessed agricultural products as its exports.
Now, countries are easing on lockdown conditions, giving hope to local cross-border traders that at least going forward, their business would pick up. For months now, due to coronavirus and its impact, most businesses have been on a standstill, affecting operations and the economy at large. Our journalists, Gary Smart, caught up with some of the cross-border traders to find out how business is faring and projections for the coming months.
Rashida Shawa is proprietor of Rems Exclusive, a trading hub of clothes from South Africa. In the past 6 months or so, her business has been volatile. She blames it on COVID-19, a global pandemic which forced countries like South Africa, one of Malawi's traditional and key trading partners, impose a lockdown. It meant no entry or exit of people and commodities unless they deemed essential in line with the lockdown provisions.
We were greatly affected by these restrictions because we were not able to order our stock as we used to before. Of course, we can order some things online, but there are some challenges that come with online buying, such as compromise in quality, because you don't really order what you want. When we go there, we feel the texture and the material of the product, but when we order online, we just order from pictures. So we don't usually get the things that we want, the items that we want, and the materials and quality that we prefer, because we'll be ordering from pictures. During this pandemic, business was not as usual. Business was really slow. We're not getting as much customers as we used to because it affected everybody. It affected those in the offices that usually buy formal clothes from us. And these restrictions brought another challenge because then weddings and functions were not happening. So usually we get customers who buy clothes because they'll be attending functions and weddings. So now because there were no more functions, we wouldn't get as many customers as we used to.
Rashida's case is no exceptional. Economies have been on a standstill. For a greater part of the year, several businesses, small and large scale, have been almost on their knees as pandemic hit its peak mid this year. Business owners say effects of the pandemic are still being felt, even now, when cases seem to be relatively easing and as countries are opening up. But some cross-border traders feel business is now picking up. With an uplifted travel ban at the moment, cross-border traders have thus expressed their thoughts on whether this development will improve business in the country amid COVID-19.
Business inalowa pasi kwambiri panopa tikungothokoza kuti anthuno pano tayamba kutuluka makatenga business koma business inalowa pasi kwambiri.
Makamba oti mukuthokoza kuti anthu panopa mwayamba kutuluka kuti muzikagula zinthu. Tinganoti business yanu yatuluka motani chifukwa kuti panopa boma yaloleza kuti anthu azitha kupita kunja. Zinthu zasintha kapena it's too early to say.
Panopa tikhozona kuti zinthu zayamba kusintha. Osati zinthu zasinthiratu koma zinthu zayamba kusintha. Chifukwa kuti umakatenga zinthu kunja ndikubwera nazo kuno ende ndikumagulisa nde panopa zinthu zayamba kusintha.
Okay, people are buying through online business, so it's a bit difficult because they can order things komano apezeka kuti masaizi abweresa ena kapena katundu amene amafuna kuti abwereyo sameneyoyo zimasiyana ndi kuti munthu wake wapita konko akakhala munthu wake wapita konko amakaona kuti ndiwene utenga ichi ndiye COVID-19 ndi wasokoneza zinthu.
Business is sinaliwe tiona business of course sinazitolere chifukwa ngakhale maboda anasigula ku China uja komano makwafe maboda ambisa ndani sana sigule ndiye basi tingobanga survive nangati bangayana boss
more even panopa business
ikwenda boss
mushobi makamo nthawi bwanji
panopa is close to 7 years ile panopa
7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Nde nthawi imene zikumveka kuti business inavuta munapanga bwanji survive kumakwanisa kulipira rent bwinobwino?
Abobo tinangoita mwe kuti tinaoda katundu wina wakuchulukirapo covid janasanarani asanayambike. Chachiwiri timaoda online wabe online amakama challenges ena ake ipeza kuti tikhoza kuoda katundu wina pa online budget amene afika kunoko samene timaganizira kuti angatani angafike mazwabisa pa online mangosankha kuti ndifuna ichi so tikubwisa katundu yosamene iwe mwina yake kuti apita kuchena chokatinga akhala ameneyo sangakule timakhala kuti kusiyana boss.
Now kuyang'ana patsogolo way forward yanu ndiyotani makamaka kuona so kuti anthu ambirimbiri COVID-19 akunena kuti yaphunzitsa kuti azikhala ma solutions ena ake in case patachitika emergency ena yake kuti mwina mwakanika kupita kunja solution yomwe mwaona kuti way forward kuti business iziyenda regardless of china ichi yonse kuti ndiyotani?
Choyambirira munthu umafuna kukhala business angapo kuti ina ikachitika ina chizikhala ngati backbone ya business ina ichi. Chachiwiri ukakhala munthu uli ndi mpata opeza katundu ina pakamozi mafuna kungoguliratu kuti pakhaso level ngati pandemic imeneyi uzitha munthu wanga yani survive malento ziti unenawo wanda munthu atenga zinthu ngati mungu yeso ta ningotenga pang'ono somazwa zansogole tisange makhala business 50-50 kuti wina ndi loss ndiye mafuna kuti tuzitenga zinthu mwa large quantity.
After all is said and done, the COVID-19 pandemic has revealed that there is a need for business operators to become innovative in the digital industry. Further, it is being expected that businesses will improve going forward following the government's decision to lift the travel restrictions that were put in place, as most cross-border traders now play their trade easily. But as it stands, the pinch is still being felt by most.
Remember, this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Savings and credit cooperatives seem to be gaining momentum in the country, giving hope that it could be the next big thing in the local economy. Our journalist Elikim Sigiri caught up with Ezekiel Tindwa, one of the officials at MUSCO, to chronicle the journey of savings and credit cooperatives in the country. Now, an expert in horticulture has urged farmers in the country to intensify production of bananas, saying it's one of the biggest cash crops Malawi could rely on. Aaron Chitimbe is the expert and was speaking during a training of banana production in Mzuzu recently. Feston Malekes was there and caught up with Chitimbe in this interview.
As you are aware, last time we did another training from of watermelons, and today we are doing banana. It's from the same family, horticulture farming. You know, these all crops are under the same family, horticulture farming. We are promoting horticulture farming, that people, they should grow crops that we can harvest while they are still green, because this type of crops they are having high value, which they attract what we call good prices on the market. To sustain the farming, banana farming, we need to come up, work as a team. That's why Synthesis said, let's come and work as a team. You know, once we come together, there's a strength. And if people of from different areas come together, what we call make a farming schemes or farming clubs or cooperatives, is when we can sustain the growth of this banana crop. That's why we said we need to sustain this through working as a team. As far as horticulture farming is concerned, we are moving on, because people, they understand why we need to do horticulture farming. As I said, it's a profitable, it's a predictable. You know that by the end of the day, I'll get my returns. Because we promote irrigation farming, we don't depend on your land threat. So the profit is a guarantee. So we are moving on. Okay, you need to invest into banana farming because it's a long-saving investment. Once you start harvesting, after 12 months, you start harvesting up to 10 years. While you are harvesting, you are making profit. So we need to engage ourselves into banana farming. Second thing is because we have lost the growth of banana here in Malawi because of the disease that attacked banana last time. So we need to engage into banana because we want to bring that lost growth. Another thing is to secure foreign exchange that we are losing each and every day because we are importing banana from outside countries. So that's why we said, no, let's come together, let's work as a team so that we can revamp this banana farming. Yes, market is already available. If we are able to bring tons and tons of banana from outside, it means there is a huge demand of banana here. Because you and me, we are eating banana each every time. So market is already available locally.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and bye for now.